4 horror movies to watch on 4th of July. Let's go. 1975. Jaws. The first film should not come as a surprise to anybody. It's one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time and my all-time favorite movie. Directed in 1975 by Steven Spielberg and adapted from a novel written by Peter Benchley, Jaws tells the story of a shark that just won't leave the summer town of Amity alone. Do you side with Mayor Vaughn, who wants to keep the beaches open so money continues to flow into the town? Or do you side with Chief Martin Brody, who cares more about the people than profit? Jaws changed the game. It was the first summer blockbuster, and after 50 years, it is just as impactful and somehow even more effective. 1985. The Return of the Living Dead. After the success of Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, written and directed by George A. Romero, the zombie subgenre dominated horror in the 1980s. In 1985, co-writer of Night of the Living Dead, John Russo, penned a new script that found a way to balance horror and humor. Dan O'Bannon was brought on board to direct, and what we got was an all-time cult classic. Return of the Living Dead tells the story of a group of kids and medical supply warehouse workers who come together to battle the recently rising undead. If you haven't seen Return of the Living Dead, check it out as soon as possible. It is a movie that will grip you quickly, it'll have you laughing, it'll have you scared, but it won't have you turning away anytime soon. 1996. Uncle Sam. Following the success of the slasher films in the 1980s, the 1990s were a little bit bare before the release of Scream. One of those films was Uncle Sam, which tells the story of a Desert Storm soldier who was killed in battle, but returns to his hometown to pick off those who are not so quite patriotic. Depending on your political preference, you'll either think this guy is a war hero and patriotic American, or an absolute nutjob. 1997. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Following the success of Scream just 1 year earlier, I Know What You Did Last Summer was released in 1997 in an attempt to replicate the success of Scream. After a wild night of partying, a group of kids decide to drive home. Unfortunately, they're involved in a hit-and-run accident and kill a man. Instead of telling the police about what happened, they decide to toss the body and hope for the best. But just 1 year later, that secret seems to become uncovered. I Know What You Did Last Summer packs a big punch and has some of the best stars of the era, like Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Ryan Phillippe. While not on the level of Scream, it's definitely a film to watch during 4th of July week. And if you haven't watched it yet,
what are you waiting for, huh?